Hello everyone. When sales decline, the real challenge is knowing exactly where and why. The item sales over comparison period report highlights customers whose spending has dropped, reveals the products behind their decline, and identifies a responsible salesperson even. In this video, I'll show you how to use the customer cliff bookmarks to find these changes, how to configure your own, and turn that data into clear sales actions. To start with, you can choose your time periods, current and comparison. So by default, the fiscal year will be filtered to current fiscal year, and comparison fiscal year will have previous fiscal year. To set the date comparisons, there's two ways of doing so. Firstly, by using the calendar option here. So let's change that to June 30th. So we're looking at the first half of this year in the current period. Or you can do that using the slider. You could leave that as the whole year and compare the current 6 months with the whole of the previous year. And then the visual gives you an adjusted comparison based on the number of days in that period, just in these columns here. But let's change for a like-to-like comparison and the first 6 months of the previous year. By default, it is set to item sales, which is local currency. You can also select the date filter showing the posting, order, or valuation date. And then in the rows, it's showing items. So quick and easily, you can see that the black paint is up over 200% compared to last year. And then all the variances are nicely color coded with red or green, just for quick reference. You can also easily switch the view to show you the same comparison for any of these measures here on the left. So when you can change that to cost of goods sold, item profits, let's see how many units, just with a click of a button. And as you can see when I scroll down, there are many more options for you to choose from. Now, that's not the only handy one-click to data option we have. Along the top are these customer cliff preset bookmarks that I did mention, where at a click of a button, you can see all the customers where their sales dropped by over 20%. And then in the item sales, where those dropped by greater than 20% as well. The customer cliff by item shows you each customer and the specific items for each of them where their revenue has dropped for that comparison time frame. So if I scroll down, you can see all the different customers and then all those items where they've stopped buying. Then the inverse happens with item cliff by customer. So that'll show you each item, which customers have reduced their sales. So you can quickly see the rim and the customers who have reduced their spending, or just here the intake valve, for example. And on the positive ledger, in the last two, you can see where a customer has increased how much they're buying, or in the last one here, a certain item has increased in sales over that comparison period. It's important to note that the 20% figure is not set in stone. So you can adjust that by simply clicking at the top of the visual here. And then you will see this period over comparison period tab appear in the filters just here. And with the drop down, you can do less than or greater than and adjust that to what you like. And then you can change the percentage. So let's change that to 30%. Then you just click apply and the visual will filter to those metrics. Lastly, you can easily create your own views by simply choosing the relevant measure on the left. Let's stick with item sales revenue, and then create your own hierarchies from the rows. So maybe you want to see the statistics for any of your dimensions. In my demo data here, I'll use area. And then by holding Control or Command, I'll then add item. You'll see these plus signs appear. And now you can use the expand or down one level arrow here. And you can see for each of those areas, which items have not been selling. But you can then keep going and I'll add another layer to see which customers in that area aren't buying those specific items. Again, add the row with Control or Command, expand down a level, and let's just go one step further and I'll add your salesperson that's responsible for that account, and they can then take action. Again, the same process, and there we have a very granular view. The permutations are endless, really, and you can create any view you like with details as granular as color of the item or model year to allow you to explore the finer details of your item sales. And if this is a view you will always come back to, then you simply click the bookmark option here and then save it for next time. And then next time you come back to see the report, you just click on the bookmark and it will automatically show. And you can also share it over here with your colleagues via a link, email, or Teams. So that's the item sales over comparison period report. A quick and flexible way to spot changes, investigate what is driving them, and focus attention where it matters most. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope that you found this helpful.